today's regatta was the first Waka Ama regatta that I have taken part in. I had to actually look it up and see whether Waka Ama races are still regattas, but they are. And it was pretty cool to be able to do this, because having my first actual race in a Waka Ama as a World Championship race wouldn't have been ideal. So I didn't really know what to expect, but actually it turned out to be relatively similar to rowing races. So you have to line up against a virtual start line. The difference being with Waka Ama, you're facing the way you're going rather than facing the way you've been, which you do in rowing. And then it was an out and back and turn around a buoy. And that's different too, because it's often a turn course. For Waka Ama, rowing boats don't turn, they just go in straight lines. So the team that we had out today have done this race before, and it's usually just a social event. They've never had someone like me with some data on their watch telling them what the data is as we go along. So it was pretty cool to do that. I was telling them the speed as we were going along in kilometers per hour, and I was telling them the lap speed each kilometer, what the time was for that. And the aim was obviously to keep the average speed going all the way along, because 10Ks is a long race. About an hour is a long way to focus when you don't actually have any data. We started relatively well, I thought, and there was one boat that got way ahead right from the start, and then 2, 3 and 4 were all quite close together. 2 pulled away, 3 and 4, we were 3 and 4, and we were all quite close together all the way. It was a bit of cat and mouse. We'd get ahead, they'd get ahead. We tried to get the tight corner into the buoy to push them wide, but we couldn't quite get there. So on the turn, the other boat was in third position. We got a little behind at the beginning of the return leg, but I was telling the team that our pace was down and we were picking up the pace, and we started to catch them. Now there is a boat, at least one boat, I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2, behind us as well, and number 1 way ahead. Number 2 is up just out of reach, and we were 3 and 4. Now the course follows the coastline, and you can't see the finish line until you come around the last little bit of the coastline. I don't know, a couple of 100 meters. At this point, the boat that we have just got past is coming back at us, and if you were watching it on the shoreline, it was a bit like this. And honestly, we were working our ass off to try and stay ahead of this boat. Number 2 was now too far ahead, and number 1 has finished ages ago. It was the closest race I've ever been a part of in a boat on the water, and also for the club members that were with me, I would say too. The people on the shore that were watching it from the clubhouse were saying that it was a cracking race to watch, and we are still waiting to find out how it actually finished. However, what we did do is better the club's time on this race by a good 12 minutes over last year, and everyone was really chuffed. So we had a great time, and now I know how a Waka Ama race works.